Perceiving time seems to have a lot to do with reading, but we still don't know exactly why this is so. 2 years ago, we started to investigate this mystery. Here is what we found. To begin with, we wanted to answer 2 questions on the relation between musical rhythm and reading. 1. Is it true that musical rhythm is important to read well because it helps to perceive speech sounds? True. We found that children with better rhythmic skills are also better at manipulating speech sounds. This enhances their ability to associate sound with letters, thus improving reading skills. 2. Why would the ability to deal with regular beats be important to speech if speech is not perfectly regular like music? In our study, we found that regularity doesn't matter that much. In Portuguese, as well as in English, we have some sort of beat approximately every half second, or 500 milliseconds, aligned with stressed syllables. Although this beat is not totally regular, its frequency is quite similar to the average musical beat, 2 beats per second, 120 beats per minute. This must be why Greek speakers, who deal with shorter beats, around 200 milliseconds, do not benefit from rhythmic skills to understand speech. Finally, we found that brain waves react similarly to regular and slightly irregular beats. In both cases, brain waves seem follow the beat and synchronize with it. In practice, all this means that training beat perception may be useful to perceive speech accurately and, therefore, to read well. Our second problem concerned daily life time, which has no regular beat. We wanted to know whether the ability to judge the duration of sounds has anything to do with speech perception. First, we investigated whether the slowing down of speech that comes when a phrase is ending is important to perceive spoken messages. We found no evidence that it might be important. The next question was, some speech sounds are identical, except in length. This is the case of B versus P, which are very short sounds with durations that differ by some tenths of milliseconds. Could it be that the ability to distinguish between these two sounds relates to reading skills? In our study, we found no evidence of an association. However, we also asked participants to distinguish longer sounds with larger differences, lasting between 300 and 700 milliseconds, and we found that this may be important to read well, specifically, to read fake words like fake. Again, intervals around 500 milliseconds do seem to be important to speech and reading, even when they are not totally regular. Our third puzzle concerned the relation between musical time and daily life time. Sometimes, we find ourselves playing beats in our mind to perceive how much time has passed. We tested whether people really use an internal beat to perceive time even when they are not asked to do so. The answer was yes. We then compared persons with and without dyslexia to see whether those with dyslexia use this internal beat less than those who do not have reading difficulties. This seemed to be true. For some reason, imagining a regular beat to get a sense of time passing is something that works best if you do not have dyslexia. The last riddle to solve was the following: individuals with dyslexia show difficulties in duration perception not only when they focus on what they hear, but also when they focus on what they see. For instance, if we try to figure out how long an athlete took to run the 100 meters, we must follow the athlete as he moves. On the other hand, individuals with dyslexia are known to have difficulties with motion perception. Therefore, our question was, is it really true that persons with dyslexia have problems in perceiving time based on what they see? Or is their problem just about seeing something or someone in motion? We found that persons with dyslexia do have low visual accuracy for things or persons in motion and images with low contrast, and they also perform low when trying to perceive the time of visual events. However, these seem to be independent problems. To wrap up, Better time perception skills mean enhanced speech perception, and this means better reading. It doesn't matter that musical time is strictly regular and speech time is not, regularity does not seem to be an issue. This suggests that training time perception may have an impact in many ways. First, by helping those with reading difficulties. Second, by preparing preschoolers for reading before they start to do so. Third, by allowing us to look at time perception difficulties in these children as a potential warning sign that they will have reading problems. Many people with dyslexia say that have problems with time management, arriving on schedule, keeping up with deadlines, and so on. This may be partly related with time perception difficulties. To learn more on how to train time perception, take a look at our videos, site and Instagram. If you have any doubt, please contact us to our email. We will always have time for you.
Teremos sempre tempo para si.